St. Louis, Missouri is one of the largest cities on the Mississippi River. It and its metro have experienced much decline. Just across the river, though, sits one of the worst declines of a city in America, one that has lost more than 75% of its population. This is what happened to East St. Louis. East St. Louis was established as Illinois Town in 1820. By the 1860s, it would become known under its current name and would rapidly grow, just like its cross-river neighbor St. Louis would throughout the late 1800s and the early 1900s. From 1880 to 1910, the city would grow from just over 9,000 to over 58,000, an increase of over 6 times in just 30 years. Industrial, rail, and meatpacking jobs were plentiful in the city, with its location on the Mississippi River and being deep within the nation's interior, providing economic benefit for the city. The prosperity would continue into the mid-20th century, with its population reaching just over 80,000 in the 1950 census, at which point it was one of the largest cities in the state of Illinois. While its rise and peak in population was similar to many other Rust Belt cities in this time frame, its fall from this point forward would not be. During its decline from the 50s on, the city would lose jobs and residents to deindustrialization, the rise of freeways, suburbanization, and rising crime. New competition for products produced in the city left many factories abandoned, and in turn, factories left much polluted land. Freeways would lessen the importance of railroads for passengers and freight than in previous decades, as well as allow people to live further from jobs in St. Louis. When the economic prosperity ended for the city, there was no coming back. In an effort to compensate for the lost jobs tax revenues, the city's property taxes were raised, thus making it a more expensive place to live, with less places to work. With the economic downturn, so came a crime uptick, as gang and criminal activity in the city rose into the 60s and beyond. This would only give people and businesses more reasons to leave. And in every decade since 1960, the city has experienced double-digit percentage declines in population. As all of this occurred, the city would fall into heavy debt, and city services would decline or cease altogether. There were fires, blight, and the city would become one of the most dangerous in the nation. It would receive a loan from the state to help get the situation under control in the 90s, along with an approval to build a casino within the city. While this and some infrastructure improvements have helped the city in a limited capacity in the time since, it continues to lose those that remain. Even in the 2010s decade, a time where most Rust Belt cities' population declines slowed down or leveled off, East St. Louis still lost over 30% of its population. Today it consists of a mix of polluted industrial lands, urban prairies, blighted neighborhoods, and the roughly 18,000 residents that remain. Despite the losses in population, the crime rates remain high, and it is one of the most dangerous cities in America. So why is it that this city with waterfront property next to a much more functioning city in St. Louis has reached this point? Lack of businesses willing to locate there, lack of funding to make it attractive, and much blighted and practically unusable land that would require considerable investment to make usable. With the situation and decline so severe, it seems East St. Louis won't exist so much as a city, but more as a small town with a storied past. Thank you for watching.